When you look at old Scout handbooks, Scoutmasters and Patrol Leaders handbooks, Boys Life magazine, and many other printed materials from the history of Scouting America, you will see the artistic talents of a great number of illustrators and painters on display. Names like Norman Rockwell, J.C. Lendecker, Remington Schuyler, Daniel Carter Beard, Ernest Thompson Seton, and Joseph Satari all readily come to mind. But there are many others who are equally as famous as artists, but may not be recognized for their contributions to the art history of Scouting America. One of these is Harold Anderson. We'll learn more about Harold Anderson and his contributions to our art history in this edition of Artifact of the Week. Harold Anderson was born in Boston, Massachusetts in 1894 to Barnabas and Lena Anderson. He studied at the Fenway School of Illustration Art in Boston. Among his instructors were Chase Emerson, Harold Brett, and Arthur Spear. Some of his first commercial illustrations were produced for Boys Life magazine beginning in 1919, where he met and became friends with Norman Rockwell. While Anderson illustrated articles in Boys Life magazine, he also provided cover art for the publication, including the February 1922 cover featuring his painting Mending the Shirt. Another Anderson cover was the May 1928 issue for the story Hurdlers Are Made, Not Born. The cover of the May 1935 issue, leading up to the canceled 1935 National Jamboree, featured his painting Scout Bugler, Swimming Call. Anderson was a prolific illustrator, producing artwork for publications such as the Saturday Evening Post, Ladies' Home Journal, and Collier's. He also created art for many advertising campaigns and at least 24 advertising billboards. Anderson painted this painting of a Boy Scout sometime in the mid to late 1930s. Recently, this piece of art was donated to the National Scouting Museum, and the story behind it makes the donation even more special. The story goes that the painting passed through the printing department at the national office in New Brunswick, New Jersey, multiple times over the years. It ended up hanging in the printing department in 1979 when the national office was relocated from New Jersey to the current headquarters in Irving, Texas. As the move approached, certain national employees were allowed to keep items from the old headquarters that were not going to make the move. A BSA retiree who worked in the printing department as a machine operator at the time said he was pretty low on the totem pole and as a result wasn't allowed to keep any items unless they were already in the dumpster. This man had a reverence for history and, believing that this was an important part of our history, rescued the Anderson painting from a dumpster. So why did this retired machine operator think this was an important piece of art? Well, I would say he thought it was important because it appeared in informational posters about official badges and insignia. It also appeared in the Scout Handbook, explaining how to properly wear Boy Scout badges and insignia, and it appeared on the cover of merit badge pamphlets. In the original painting, the Scout is depicted with an Eagle Scout rank on his hat and a first class rank patch on his pocket. There's no leadership position patch on his sleeve. In this variation, he has an Eagle Scout rank on the hat and is wearing an Eagle Scout medal over an Eagle Scout patch. He does not have a position patch. In this example, he is a first-class Scout and has long sleeves and no position patch. In this example, he has an Eagle Scout rank on his hat, an Eagle Scout medal, and he's now wearing the Badge of Office patch for a patrol leader. It is highly unlikely that Anderson painted full-size versions of each of these variations, but it is more likely that the art was modified as it was incorporated into the final published item. Anderson won numerous poster awards and exhibited in Art Directors Club shows in 1937, 40, 42, 46, 50, and 51. He was a member of the Society of Illustrators, the Old Greenwich Art Society, the Artists Guild, and the West Point Artists. He had a one-man show at the Society of Illustrators in 1942. Towards the end of his career, Anderson did a lot of portrait work for colleges and participated in the Nahant Art Festival. Anderson was recognized as a gifted teacher and mentor. He was also a founding faculty member of the famous Artist School alongside Norman Rockwell. He lived in Old Greenwich, Connecticut, New Rochelle, New York, and Nahant, Massachusetts. Anderson died on August 20, 1973 in Lynn, Massachusetts. He was survived by his wife Hazel, 2 daughters, 4 grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchild. Well, that's all the time we have for this week. Join us next time as we continue to learn more about the history of Scouting America. through the collection of the National Scouting Museum and Artifact of the Week.